Hands off Iran! Hands off Iran! Hands off Iran! Hands off Iran!
And you even see it with the media and the political class in Ireland. How often do you hear any politician in Ireland actually say a good word about Iran? They're scared. They're scared to tell the truth about what's really happening.
Today's protest is to say hands off Iran. That's why we're standing under this particular banner, and to free Palestine. When Iran was under attack by the Zionist entity, it was an unprovoked attack and a demonstration of the Zionist expansionist project to destabilise Iran and to create regime change.
We stand for dignity. We glorify freedom and all freedom fighters who have resisted the Zionist entity.
But what is going on in that region is a warning. It's a warning to everybody who stands up against Zionism, but it's also a vision of how Zionism can be defeated. Not only in the legitimate right of self-defense which Iran has exercised, but also through the global solidarity which has existed and a growing understanding of people that Iran stands as the bulwark against Zionism in that region, which is why standing with Iran is so utterly important. It's why standing with Syria, why standing with Lebanon, with Yemen, and of course with Gaza is the only way forward.
And that imperialism, as we see, imperialism is the most dominant force over the world, controlling and dominating finance, dominating capital right now at the minute, that is even rendering Ireland unable, the Irish state unable to sever its ties, is the Zionist dominated United States backed by the EU and Britain.
We must ask ourselves, how do we defend ourselves from such a monstrous and belligerent killing machine such as Israel? The answer lies with the Iranian response to the Zionist aggression on Friday the 13th of June, with the fulfillment of Operation True Promise 3 decreed by His Eminence Sayyid Ali Khamenei. The Iranians struck heavy and significant blows to the Zionist entity. They shook its very foundations of its illegal existence for 12 straight days.
The long-term solution is the end of Zionism and imperialism.
End of Israel?
Yes, absolutely. As a Zionist state, yes. One state, one democratic state for all.
What happens if all the people in Israel, they have to leave?
Many of them will leave, many of them will stay and accommodate themselves to the new regime.
1, 2, 3, 4, Zionist empire will fall. 1, 2, 3, 4, Zionist empire will fall.
We see Syria overtaken by a bunch of Al-Qaeda, ISIS punks with the support of the US and Israel handing over their country to Zionist murderers. We see Yemen, the heroes of the world who stand defiant with almost nothing in the face of US and Israeli barbarism. And even last night they struck Israel, one of the poorest countries in the world, suffering acutely under sanctions, who stood up to US empire and who won.
Iran has always stood on the right side of history, and in doing so has been a beacon of light in a dark, imperialist, Zionist-dominated world. Iran is hence fighting this war in defense of not just us in the pro-Palestinian community, but all of humanity and collective civilization across the world that stands for morality and justice. Iran stands as the last obstacle in the Zionist plan for Greater Israel that seeks to dominate, subjugate and ethnically cleanse the entire lands of Greater Syria and neighboring Arab states. Be under no illusion, it is the Zionist movement with imperialist-dominated USA that continues to steer us to the precipice of a third nuclear world war for the sake of their racist, fascist, settlerist colony named Israel.
What is the response from the democratic garden that we live in? Well, Iran can't have any nuclear weapons. Iran doesn't want any nuclear weapons, but actually it's much nearer now to having them than they were before. Iran exercises its right, like everybody else, to use nuclear power for their own civilian use if they choose to do so, which they are entitled to do as a sovereign country. But of course, they don't have nuclear weapons. The only people who have nuclear weapons in that region are the Zionist murderers terrorists who attacked them in an unprovoked fashion.
We owe the Iranian people a debt of gratitude. Number one, for renaming the street in Tehran that houses the British Embassy after a revolutionary hero Bobby Sands. Two, for standing up to US imperialism. And three, for the support for the Palestinian resistance and for bombing the fuck out of Israel.
Many people consider Iran to be an oppressive regime that should not be supported, regardless of what you think of America and Israel. So I asked people what their response to this would be.
Point blank, it's bullshit.
You don't think it's an aggressive regime at all?
I don't know much about Iran. Who's telling us that it's an oppressive regime? Usually other oppressive regimes. So I'm not really going to back a point that's coming from someone who's contradicting themselves.
I'm here to support the Iranian people against attacks by Zionism and US imperialism. I feel that as a Democrat, there are many things about the Iranian regime I don't support, but I feel it's my duty as an anti-imperialist, which is part of being a Democrat, to support people and to oppose US imperialism and Zionism.
To start talking about, what about the women? Listen, we were in the European Parliament 5 years. The amount of resolutions that were held and passed condemning the treatment of women in Iran. Oh, the people of Europe, we really care about the women in Iran. These same politicians, when bombs start falling on Muslim women in Palestine, they didn't give a damn about them. They had a problem with women wearing veils in Iran, but they had no problem with Western imperialism bombing Gaza back to the Stone Age.
The same thing would be thrown at us today. They would say, oh, in Iran, the women have to wear a hijab. They say that there is no democracy in Iran. Well, I remember many times when I was in England and I supported the IRA and I supported Sinn Féin insofar as they were fighting imperialism, that I had many other contradictions with them and many other complaints about what they were doing. But I still marched in their support and I still marched in solidarity with them.
And we throw stones at others because they say, oh, you're not democratic. What is democracy? I mean, do we have democracy here? Have we any say in Micheál Martin's rush to militarization now? Have the people any say in the matter? I don't think so. And democracy would be a situation where the people actually had a say in how their society was run, how their communities are run, and how their country was run. We don't have that.
Let us learn from Iran how to be brave, bold and defiant, even when the odds are stacked against us. Long live the Islamic Republic of Iran, and may it continue in its honorable support for the liberation of Palestine. Glory to the martyrs of the resistance from Gaza to Iran.